I like it when sometimes we get the grace of seeing something direct, directly seeing something, and but having it turn out to be a good thing that you're seeing. This is I guess, one of the better things in life. I'm having a problem here. Sorry. I am making a crash course covering up my kitchen. It's not really that messy, but it's not really, you know, it's not a TED Talk background. Anyway, neither's that, I guess, but it's better than nothing. So, um, kitchens are kind of private, I guess. I don't know. Are they? Maybe mine is because it's usually messy. I don't, I learned this from my son. I don't, well, part of it. I live a day and then, no, it's all been me. I learned from my son that I asked, his heating bill was $252. They were up high on a third floor in the southwest winds. And they had cadet heaters and they were on 24/7, two of them. And his bill was 200 something, 56, $8. And hang with me. It's a good story. I came over and I said, dude, put some clothes on. He runs around in his underwear, pulling at his private area all the time, which my grandma just loved for some reason. Oh, there he goes again. Oh. So he said, what? I don't want to put clothes on. I said, put some clothes on and your heating bill will go down. And, hey, Dad, you only live once. This is the mouth of a 20-year-old. Beautiful. But my thing is, no, I forgot what I was talking about. That's the downside of having what could be a busy mind. It doesn't have to be, but we'll get into that later. But I forgot what I was saying, but it was tangential and it'll come back to me. But anyway, that's a story of one of the stories of my son. Um, but I was saying originally that it's nice when you come across something very directly and you know that it's true and you see it and it works for you and it's good. It's good because it works for you. You see, whatever you is. I don't know if I can get through this or not. No, I have a little alcohol, and only because it's difficult speaking, teaching coherently, finding the words and analogies or whatever. And I'm not very good at it. That's why I space out for a while and stare at something, and my mind is thinking. So, um, and what is that directness, Doug? What did you directly discover? Well, I directly discovered that enlightenment is really not a what we think it is. We think it's, God, I hope not, full of robes and really nice, you know. Well, they're probably nice people, but like Jesus types only. That's the one of the great drawbacks of spiritual development is that we have Judeo-Christian society, and Jesus is number one. Jesus himself said that you can do greater things than I. Yeah. So anyway, that's another tangent. So the enlightenment is not full of robes and roses. It's not something that is marvelous and wonderful necessarily. And it is, of course, in one way, a freedom. Liberty is enlightenment, liberty. And I have another word for it, but that will be a crescendo. So that's even closer to what I'm experiencing in this direct awareness that I am speaking of is that you have in your mind's eye, you have your thought processes going, and some of them are going to be negative and some of them are going to be positive. And not necessarily either one of them will happen. It might be a negative in another form or positive in another form. But these the way that we make our decisions, we're processing decisions. And every one of us futurizes and then historizes, preparing for the future, looking ahead in our mind's eye, and remembering history in our mind's eye, mostly the negative stuff. So what I'm saying is not really going to be a happy thing, really. But it's maybe a calming thing. You these thoughts that come, and other thoughts layered upon thought until you make a decision that one thought is better than the other 10. These are all this is all happening, and you finally collapse on a decision. It's happening whether you know it or not. How do you think decisions are made? They're made by thoughts. How do you get a thought? By a process, certainly. So, what I had to say about these thoughts that we all have is the good ones, so to speak, for you, for good ones that I call good for me. Uh, and what I'm going to say is not really fun, is that my eyes hurt. I'm sorry. I got a headache coming on here. Um, you don't you, you don't have the luxury of believing any of them. And I know that's very disappointing for some, I'm sure. And it still disappoints me because I haven't practiced this much. I just realized it. My thoughts keep going, and today was an awful day for my thought processes. My brain was busy the whole day, and I found it to be quite exhausting, and I didn't feel like I was on this earth. And what I'm saying is that's illusion. It's Maya. It's illusion. Ma. It's illusion. To be occupied with these thoughts, be it positive or negative. And there's an aspect of that's very exciting, because if you're going to have thoughts, capitalize on the positive ones, because it makes you feel better, makes your body better, makes your mind better, makes your smile better. So you don't believe them. And that's just a big bite to take. It's just a huge bite to take. And most people would say, that's it. I lost it. I lost them. And that's okay. I understand. It's disappointing that my because then it begs the whole question. Because, well, why is it that no, that's not what I want to say. So not believing any of them sounds ridiculous. But if you believe a thought, there's a whole structure of sublimation that takes place upon your cultural ethos and sociologically, psychologically. Going from a thought to a belief. A belief carries great power. An individual's right. We are nationalized to die for our beliefs. Otherwise, we wouldn't have warriors. So to go from a thought to a belief is a huge structure, and it's a very powerful one. Because a belief, you question your institutions, your formation of justification and realization, and an apologetics for the development of yourself, your very own personality. So beliefs get formulated within the person from the outside in, from the inside out. So you have a stake in things. You can draw a line in the sand, and we can bomb people, because of our beliefs. So you can see the radicalness of this thing is that if you don't believe your thoughts, the combination permutations of previous thoughts coming to thoughts that you think of in your head, there are many before that, before you think of them in your consciousness, I'm assuming. But anyway, when you get a grip on how many layers of thoughts you have that formulate a belief, you collapse on one of them, and then you believe it. And what I'm saying is that this is essentially, I like the drawing the sand and the line sort of thing, because what you have now is you have something that you can defend, and I want to say in the West, you can defend it righteously. You see. So what I'm suggesting is ridiculous, not believing your thoughts, you see. But liberty is found within not believing your thoughts. You're neither running away from hell nor are you running to heaven. And I'm sure I didn't say that. I heard that from somewhere. I don't know where it's written. Maybe it was Adi. No, I'm not sure. Adi Shanti. Just in case I plagiarized, But if somehow you can get there just for a moment, not believe your thoughts, but somehow I don't know. I don't know how to get there. I don't know. I would think it would take place in an extreme amount of silence and silent time, because you don't want anything busying your mind, because it will keep the thoughts even more intense. Noise, leaves are okay, wind, nature's okay, because they're supposed to be there. But artificial stuff, stimulants and music and aromas, all right too. And get a massage before you relax, before you experience your silence. Be nice, huh? So, how do you do this? I have a couple steps that aren't really solid, but I've been just naming my beliefs. We have a propensity to awfulize situations in our mind, make them worse than they're going to be, or that they turn out to be, or we expect respecting a bad outcome of a situation in our minds. What I'm saying is now if you don't believe that one too, see but the price is you can't believe all the positive ones as well. You see, you're not in a, because that's a volleyball match. You see, so you're not running away from hell. You're not running to heaven. There's a gap. There's a spot in between. And we're at 16 minutes, and I want to go over 20. And that gap is this place that only I can only explain it as uh, beat. Enlightenment is a is a word that can set you on a long path before you come back. I have a different space for it, and I call it be. Just be, just to be. A be. It's not supposed to be profound. It's just be. You know. If you're not, and those thoughts will keep coming at you. You see. You see, but just identify them. You say, oh, there's awfulize. I call my awfulizing one awfulizing Eddie. Oh, there's awfulizing Eddie. Hey Eddie, what's going down? Oh, there's running the films. History films or films in your head about how the future's going to turn out, how you want it to turn out. Or you're even awfulizing the future, you see? Because the benefit of not believing any thoughts is that you don't have to believe the negative ones either. That's a neutral space. Ram Dass and Leary, the other fellow would say, "Be here now." That's what the book is trying to convince. What they're saying. How many steps can you take? You know, I spend a lot of time playing cribbage, and I'm not walking around a big house. There's no reason to have a big house. It's a waste of resources. So just to work on that and identify the thoughts that continue in your head and don't go at war with them. Don't go, I don't want that one. I don't like that one. Just greet it kindly and neutrally. Just greet it like you just recognize it, but without anger or resentment. And you might find that you have quite a few characters, in there. Depends on how many layers of thought that you're aware of, you see. All right. Thank you. And it's good to be with you.